welcome back. Today we're going to be fondanting. I have my red fondant ready. I already spreaded my sugar, my powdered sugar into my table, and I have my roller out. I'm going to be rolling it out. I do like to pat some of the sugar powder into my roller. I just spread it easily just for it to, you know, be dry and easier to spread it. And we're going to start spreading. I'm gonna stretch it a little bit more. For those of you that are new with fondant, I do recommend for you guys to measure your cake and measure your fondant to make sure that you guys stretch it a good decent amount to be able to cover your entire cake. I pretty much eyeball it right now due to all the, you know, I've been doing cakes for 4 years now. I kind of have an idea of how much to stretch my fondant, so I'm gonna stop now. Before you stop, I do recommend for you guys to make sure that your fondant is evenly stretched out. How do you tell? Eyeballing it, making sure that all of your edges, all of your edges are spread evenly. Nothing is too bulky on one end or too thick on the other or too thin on the other side. Just making sure that you make it as even as possible. So I'm happy with my fondant now. I'm going to go ahead and bring out the cake so I can fondant. So I have the cake here. I have my fondant already stretched out. I have my fondant smoother with me. I'm going to go ahead and throw my fondant on top of my cake, and I'm going to be pushing and stretching it. Alright guys, so I'm going to grab my fondant. I'm going to put it on top of my cake. If you guys notice, I did not use my turntable for this. I don't use it because I don't like my cake to be taller and for the fondant to hang, because I don't like to have that elephant skin on my fondant. I like my fondant to look very smooth as possible, so I do not use my turning table. I'm sorry. So I'm pushing in my fondant, sticking it to my buttercream. Keep in mind, you have to do this in sections for your fondant to evenly stick to your buttercream. Once you're happy, I do like to press in on my corners, the bottom corners of the cake for it to stick evenly. I then cut off the extra axis of the fondant. I remove it. I press in with my hands, obviously clean hands, and with my planchita over here, I stick my fondant. Once I'm happy with my fondant, I start cutting off the axis of the fondant from the side. So when I started doing cakes and I was cutting the leftover fondant, I was cutting the cake, literally, this is my cake, I was cutting like this. So when you cut in this position, you're cutting the cake, you're kind of how can I say, you're not cutting straight into that sharp edge of your cake. So I've learned within years that you actually have to cut straight. So cutting this way down makes it more sharp when you're cutting, and makes it even at the bottom of your cake. So that's how I cut now. Still gonna have those edges not as perfect, but I don't mind when I know that I'm gonna cover those edges, but obviously you want to do it as perfect as possible. So once I've done cutting all around the cake, my fondant smoother, I go ahead and press in into my edges, sticking them in, And there you go. All fondant. Yes, you're gonna have some of the powdered sugar on it, but I don't mind right now just because I am gonna be covering this cake with decorations, and it calls that everything's gonna be covered, so it's not gonna be noticeable. So I am gonna leave it like that for now. I do want to give you guys a quick trick on how to removing it. A lot of people do use a brush to take it out, but I use the actual fondant, whatever I have left over. Obviously make sure that it does not have any butter, and if you just smooth it out, it actually cleans it out with it. But just make sure that whenever you guys are doing it, don't press too hard, because you're just going to mark your fondant that's already on the cake. You have to be as smooth as possible, and it does takes it off as much as you can. Just keep rubbing it and it takes it off. Alright guys, we're back with all of decoration is pre-made already. I have the cake here, and we're going to be decorating that cake. So let's get started. Alright guys, we're going to be using my edible glue. This glue, I actually make it myself, so I don't have a brand name for it. Maybe we can do a video using showing you guys how to make it. So I like to, with a small brush, just spread it throughout the entire cake. You don't need much. It's only usable for any of the decorations to stick to the cake. So I'm just gonna spread it. Just, you know, it doesn't have to be any perfect way or a certain way. Just spread it. Alright, so I'm good with what I have. I already added the glue, the edible glue, to stick to the cake. Remember that I said that it didn't matter how the edge of the cake looked at the bottom. Well, because we're going to be adding decoration. So I'm going to start out with adding the strips of color. So this is going to be a Elmo Sesame Street cake. So that's why all these colorful stripes. So we're going to start with my yellow. See how it's not showing on the bottom? That's what I meant, that it didn't really matter if it was not cut correctly. Alright guys, all done, all across. So I'm going to throw this baby in the refrigerator for it to cool off while I get the rest of the decoration prepped. I'll show you guys when we come back. Alright guys, we got the cake back out. We're going to finish the decoration. I have the edible sheet, Elmo characters. We have Elmo, Bird. I really don't know their names, but I have them all here. I'm going to start attaching them to the cake and doing the final decoration to the cake, and just stay tuned to watch. guys, it's all done. As you can see, I'm just going to add the name of the birthday girl. Alright guys, it's all done. See? Beautiful cake. Hope you guys like the video and leave your comments below. Don't forget to like, comment on what video you guys like to see next, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.